Alright, in this video, we're going to learn about looping through strings. And sometimes we'll use for loops, sometimes we'll use while loops. We could do while, for each. Lots of different types of ways we could iterate through a string and modify that string. So let's start with a while loop. So first we're going to bring in a statement from the user. And let's say while the statement that's input, which is S, while the index of any letter A is greater than or equal to 0. So remember that in a string, so say my string was this word scanner, right? In the string, capital S would be index 0. C would be 1, A would be 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and so on. So we're looking for the index of any letter A, right, that is greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to start at 0 with the first element in the string, and then we're going to keep looping until we run out of letters. So let's say inside of our loop, there we go. So inside of our loop's body, now we're going to say that I is S dot index of that letter A. So we're going to capture that index. And then let's remake our string S, the statement that was input. And we're going to say S equals S dot substring, starting at 0, the first letter, okay, then to our index, which is I. Okay, that's going to be the first letter of our string, okay, then plus, and then we're going to do S dot substring, and then our I plus 1 is going to take us from the 0, so in this first one, from the 0, including the 0 element, up to but not including the I, the index that has the A. Then we're going to concatenate that with the substring that starts at the character after our index I, that's holding A, and since there is no comma, that goes all the way through to the end of the string. So what this would do is remove all the A's from whatever statement we enter in for the user. Okay, so let's go ahead and print then so that we can see that it's working. So system.out.println, and we'll just output S. With the with the A's removed. So let's go ahead and compile, see if we need to debug anything. Okay, so we've got I need to make that I be an integer. Oops. Enter. There we go. So int I equals 0. We'll start with 0 as the beginning index. Now let's compile. Okay, that looks good. Now we can run. And we're going to enter our statement. Apples are edible and amazing. So we can see that the lowercase a's, right, the lowercase a here was removed. Then here was another lowercase a that got removed. This one was removed, and this one was also removed. Okay. If I wanted to remove lowercase and capital letters, and then before printing, I could run this string through another while loop. And I could say while index of capital A now is greater than or equal to 0. And we'll put a capital A then as our check. and grab that index wherever it occurs, and then we can go ahead and do our substring. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that one. And we'll enter our statement, and we'll use capital letters for everything now. And now when we look at the return, right, the capital A is gone and the lowercase a is gone, right? Capital A is gone, another capital A, and then a lowercase a. So this code removes all the capital and lowercase letter A's from a statement that's input by the user. Okay, now maybe instead of removing the capital and lowercase A's, we want to change them to some other value or symbol. So for instance, we could locate a lowercase a, and we'll, instead of removing it, we're going to change it to the @ symbol. And we'll do that by concatenating the first part of the string with the last part of the string, excluding the lowercase a, right? So it's going to replace that lowercase a with the @ symbol. When we find a capital A, okay, let's replace that with a capital B. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. So let's enter our statement. Apples are edible and amazing. So we can see the capital A got changed to a capital B. The lowercase a got changed to the @ symbol, right? Same thing here, here, and here. Okay, let's do something new now with this string. So let's come back up here. And this time, let's, instead of switching up the lowercase a's for @ symbols, let's count up how many a's there are in this in the statement, disregarding its case. So then we're going to change this to be count. So int count starts at 0. And then instead of a while loop, let's do a for loop this time. So for int I, we'll use I for index, starting at 0. And we'll go to the length of our message. So we want s.length to be greater than the index I. And then we'll increment our I to go to the next index. And then in the body of our for loop, let's make a condition. So if s.substring, starting at I and I plus 1, okay, and then we're going to do the dot equals, and we're looking for lowercase a. And when we find it, then we'll increment our count. And then we'll come down and print. Let's see if I can get in the right spot. There we go. That print system.out.print line, and we'll print the count. Now this is going to go through and only count up the number of lowercase a's. Okay, if I wanted it to count up regardless of the case, right, I could do another if condition checking for capital A. Or I can change my method. Instead of dot equals, I could call the dot equals ignore case method. And that will look for both lowercase and capital A's. So let's go ahead and try this out. And we'll say apples are amazing. And this tells me that there are 4 letter A's. So let's check. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So then we could change this to look for the letter N. Okay, so let's run again. This time our statement will be Nancy needs noodles, and then we've got a 4, so we've got capital N, lowercase n, lowercase n, lowercase n. Right? If we do a word that has no n's, so we'll just do apples, and we see it returns an n, 0, because apples has no n in it. Next, let's try reversing the order of the letters in the statement that the user inputs. So we'll go ahead and get rid of our count. And we're going to make ourselves another string. And this one we'll call S reversed. And make another string for the I letter. And we're going to start our count with the index 0. That'll be the first letter of our word. And then we're going to run while the length is greater than that index. And then we're going to increment our index. And then let's grab our letter. So the I letter is going to be S dot substring I to I plus 1. I plus 1. There we go. And then we can get rid of this if condition. And we're going to add that letter now to our reversed string. So we'll say S reversed is equal to that I letter that we just found plus S reversed. Okay. And then let's change our print to print S reversed. All right, so let's go ahead and run. Well, what did I do here? S reversed, S reversed. Oh, I need to give S reversed a value. So we're going to initialize it as an empty string because currently it's not initialized at all. So let's go ahead and run again. So let's go ahead and enter our statement apples, and we can see now it's reversed the order of the letters, right? A-P-P-L-E-S spelled backwards. So as we code trace our way through this to see what's happening, right, we start where the index is equal to 0, and in the word apples, that's the capital A. Right, we take our empty string, S reversed, and we add on that letter capital A, and we concatenate that now with the rest of the string, which is an empty string. So all that lives there now is capital A. Then we come back up, we increment to 1, and that brings us to the lowercase p at index 1. We add that onto the front. So I letter is now lowercase p, and then we concatenate the capital A that it was holding last time. And you can see as we iterate through this loop that we're going to end up with the reverse of what we started with, right? Regardless of the size of the string that we put in.